So I have my business set up a certain way in FreedomSoft. If you get FreedomSoft, you can set it up however you want. It's up to you. Use your imagination or whatever works for you. But this is how it works for me. But basically, you know, my new leads that we get into the funnel start off in this tab here, seller leads tab. They start off in here. So these are all kind of new leads, you know. Basically, we're not able to give them a cash offer yet. We're not at that stage, you know. Okay, so what it is we need to gather property information from these people. You know, we got to find out their names on some of them. We don't even know, you know, who they are. It's a missed call, so we called them back. And then you have other people we do know who they are, but we still need to gather their information. So gather more information. You can create your own status. That's why I love FreedomSoft. You know what I mean? Voicemail. I created all of this. I thought, you know what, I want to do it like this, so this is how I did it. And I put it in FreedomSoft, and it's been working great for me. And I trained all my VAs, you know, how to do this. So basically, my VA is the one that's doing all of this. I'm not doing all of this. So right here, this lets us know, you know, where this particular lead came from and what it is. It's a missed call. This one was a voicemail. This one, like I said, we know who he is, but we just haven't gathered all his information. We gathered some, but not all. And then, of course, we got other statuses too, like gather property information. This one, basically, we don't have any property information. So this one looks like, so she doesn't have information here. So that's why she has the status gather property info, because we don't have any information on this lead here. All we know is basically this information here. Okay. So let's go back. Now once we gather all the information from the seller that we needed in order for us to make a decision on how much we can offer to purchase their house, then it's called analyze deal. So she'll set the task for me to go in here to analyze the deal and say, okay, how much we can offer for this lead here. So what happens is we can go to the calendar, and so if she sets a task, it'll be here. If I set a task, it'll be here, and she could look at this, I could look at it. And so the analyze deal tasks right here, these are for me. So I'll click on it, I'll check it out. You see how she has all the information that we need. It's filled in right here on the left hand side. This is the questionnaire sheet that I built inside of FreedomSoft. So she gathered everything that we needed from the seller, and now it's ready for me to analyze the deal. So I'd come in here and I'd check it out, read all the information, and I'd fill in these blanks here that I customized. Okay, so how I did it is I set it up with the ARV here. I'll figure it out and put it there, and then I'll figure how much it's going to cost if we wanted to fix and flip it, if we wanted to buy and hold it, you know, estimated rehab costs, you know, how much is the estimated monthly rent, you know, how many people are on the deed, because that's very important. Because if you have like 6 people on the deed, it's going to be a lot harder to get 6 people on board with your cash offer. You know, the less people involved, the better. So that's why I like to know that, and I put this question here so that way my VA knows to get this information. Also, because I can just come in here and I can set it up to where, you know, I want the information in front of me quick and simple, so that I don't have to go searching for it. So that's why I set it up like this, where I can get to that particular information quick. Okay, so now and then I'll put the first cash offer, I'll put a second cash offer, and a max. Okay, so my VA will know what offers to make. Okay, and then I have all this other details that I put. I mean, you can custom build FreedomSoft however you want, and I love it. Because like I said, I've tried other softwares and you can't do that at all. I mean, you can do some custom here and there, but nothing like this. And this is where it gets interesting. Now, this is why I love this so much, because this also goes with your business flow as well. And let me show you what I mean. So right here, status. If you're familiar with wholesaling properties and you have your own business, then you know what I'm talking about. But right here, there's a status per lead. So like I was telling you before, this in here, everyone's going to have a status. Either it's going to be like a voicemail, or it's going to be a missed call. It's going to be gather information, gather more information, and stuff like that. Now once it's ready to be analyzed, that's the last step before the lead will actually be ready to come out of this tab. And this is the last step, is analyze the deal. Now I gotta come in here and analyze it. Once I analyze it, then I'll move the seller lead and it'll convert to a property. So this lead here, once it's ready to be made, you know, the next step would be a cash offer. Once it's ready to make, you know, my VA to call them back and give them the offer, then I will save it, and then I would transfer over to the properties tab right here. Because the way I run FreedomSoft is all my newest leads will be in here. Okay, and then after they're able to get a cash offer, then they're in this tab. And that's where I have a follow-up system, you know, to see if they're ready to sell. Because once I give a cash offer, you know, normally they're not going to accept it. You got to constantly, you know, follow up. And they'd be in the properties tab, and I'll be following up with them with a VA will. And then the seller leads, of course, we have follow-up system for all the seller leads too. But this is kind of how I keep them apart. And the reason why I do that is because I want to know, okay, where are my newest leads, or where are the leads that I need to get more information from. So these are all my newest leads right here. They're going to be in the seller leads. Once they get to the point where my VA can give them a cash offer, I'm going to transfer them into the properties tab. So now let's say the status, you're going to do a contract pending, because let's say the VA called and gave them a cash offer and they accepted. Now the next step would be what to do is to send them an offer, you know, a written offer, send them the contract. Now she can do that inside FreedomSoft, and I have it set up to where once this lead is ready to be sent a contract, she can put the status to contract pending. Boom. Now we have other questions that pop up. And this is what it's going to go inside of the contract. So the date, this is just other information. The title company, she'll figure that out. So I put those title companies that we use in there. She'll put this information, this, and that. So this is the information that we need inside the contract. So she'll be able to fill in the blanks, and whatever she puts in there, she'll be able to automatically generate a contract in FreedomSoft. So that's powerful. I mean, you can generate a contract in FreedomSoft within seconds. So let me show you back to the status part. So that's for the contract pending. Same thing with, let's say now you got it under contract. Where is it? Under contract. Boom, now other information pops up. Because once you have a property under contract, the next step would be to flip that contract to your end buyer. So now, once we found our end buyer that, you know, is willing to go forward on this deal, then my VA can just fill in these blanks, and those, whatever she puts in here will be on that contract to send to the buyers. And then she can generate a contract quick in FreedomSoft and send the contract to the buyers and to the title company within FreedomSoft fast. So that's powerful right there. Now let's show you this one more thing right now, right here. So it's similar to what I just showed you on the status. Now this is how I have it set up. Now when the lead first comes in, we don't know, you know, who they are. We don't know anything about the property. So my VA has to gather the information. When she does that, it's going to be a fresh lead. So she has to come to the seller leads, start a new lead. So she would put in general information here, and then she'd press save. When she pressed save, then the next screen would look like this. So my VA calls the new lead, and she's going to gather the new lead's information. Now I have a questionnaire sheet that she's going to ask every seller, and I built it inside of FreedomSoft. So that way, you know, it's quick and simple. because you want to keep everything within FreedomSoft, so that way everything's organized, quick, and simple. So that way you don't have to, go to third-party sources, to send an email, to make a phone call, to generate a contract, to send a contract, to fax, everything. You know what I mean? So everything you want to keep it in FreedomSoft so that way it can be quick and simple and organized. So that's what I do. So she's gonna ask the seller, my questionnaire sheet that I built in FreedomSoft, and all she has to do now is set deal type to wholesale. That's when my questionnaire sheet pops up. I mean, that's just powerful. Okay, so let's say that you want to set up another deal type. I don't know, it's a wholesale. You want to wholesale it. Well, there could be other questions that you can ask too. So I mean, it's awesome. So let's say you can have different questions for every deal type. Powerful. FreedomSoft is set up so that way, if you're new to this business, it's great for you. You can use FreedomSoft, and it's set up even if you have experience. It's good for you, and it's even set up to where when you're brand new, you get FreedomSoft. It's set up for you to grow. It helps you grow your business, because once you utilize all these tools on FreedomSoft, the follow-up system, you look more professional. You stay more organized. You stay organized. And overall, you're able to outsource 90% of your business.